Watch what happens when the lower body slides out. It leaves the upper body behind, which then the arms are attached to the upper body, so it leaves the arms behind. I can put my club across my chest and turn, and look how I get right over that inside of my foot, and I never even had to move an inch this way. Let's turn right around. You feel that?
Yeah.
That's the move right there. Now look at this. Everything lines up. Come back to gear with us. November 30, slow down. We're going to go back and take a look at this. We're going to dial in the setup. It's always, hey, how can we set up? Number one, check the grip, make sure we're holding it in a way that keeps the club face square.
Okay.
Next thing, are we setting up with the fixed points to be able to make the proper turn? Minimize that unnecessary lateral side-to-side movement, right?
Okay.
And then lastly, okay, are we playing golf underneath us versus around us? That's what I always check for in that order.
Okay.
And then, are we just setting the golf club in a position that then will put you on the path of the least amount of manipulation? So here's the good news. We're going to go back there. I'm going to show you how we go through the plan. Here's something I want you to notice. He created his spine angle with his hip bump.
Okay.
Now here's how I can tell you that. If you look at the outside of his right hip, do you see how it's on the inside of his right foot? Now watch. The outside of your hip is over the middle of your foot. You look at the outside of this hip, it's more on the inside of that foot. So what you've done to create that spine angle is you've actually just tilted your upper body back.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, understand your spine is perpendicular to your pelvis or your belt line. So when here's my belt line right here. When I shift my lower body forward and I leave this still, well, there's my spine angle already there.
Okay.
Now, just to be real clear on this, that secondary tilt, we call it, primary is right here. Secondary would be the one from the face on view. Here's the big thing. It's really not that much. It's probably, like, if we're being accurate, 3 to 5 degrees.
Okay.
But what makes it look like it's more is when the hand, the trail hand, reaches down on the grip. See this? Look how that shoulder drops.
Yeah.
So if you were to look at me really in this position, I'm bumped forward. That's really where it is right there. Now watch how much more it looks like when I just take the grip. See that?
Okay.
So that puts me in a position where if I turn, I'm on the inside of my foot more. The pressure builds to the inside. I never want to see this hip to the outside. Okay, so let's take a look at this again. I love drawing this brace right here. You're gonna see that he maintains that brace with his right leg and turns right around his spine angle. Now, if we were to erase all these lines, look at the chest, look at the hip, look at everything lines up, right? And that's what builds all the pressure right there. Okay, now when we look at where we are, this hip's, it's locked out there. See how far away you are from the outside of your left foot already, right here with this hip? And then what happens is you get to the top and we're just too much on our right side, not enough on the left side. All right, and then what has to happen is we have to make a big slide to get forward through the golf ball. And that slide, it leaves your arms and hands behind you. Watch how his arms and hands come through right on top of his lower body. That's because his upper body's rotating on top of his lower body. Watch what happens when the lower body slides out. It leaves the upper body behind, which then the arms are attached to the upper body, so it leaves the arms behind.
Got it.
If the arms are behind the body, typically, it's like leaving the bat on your shoulder and we clear. Right. And when you just happen to time it enough,
that's the left.
That's the left. And if you get it perfect, then you got that 1 out of 4 that's like, oh, that was what I wanted right there. It's dead straight, but it doesn't have the pop because everything's not coming through.
Correct.
Together, you're getting more of a arms and hands hitting it without the body and the hands moving through together, okay? When we're setting up, we're gonna create a checkpoint for you. You're leaving your sternum still, and all you're doing is moving that pelvis towards the target to the point to where the outside of your right hip is on the inside of your right foot.
Outside of your right, okay.
So right here, that right here, this hip right here,
Yep,
this kind of is this way.
Yeah.
This hip is getting right to the inside of the foot.
Okay.
It's gonna feel like I'm sticking some door stops underneath the outside of that right foot of yours, okay? Now, there's 2 parts to the hip bump that I think are incredibly important. Let me just grab your club real quick. 2 parts to this, ready? Number 1, if this is my target line here, right? Feet here. I'm just keeping my hips square while I do that.
Okay.
Now, I get a lot of questions from people who've watched our videos and they say, hey, Is it like that? Do the hips go back? The reason why I say yes and they do, I like to feel my right hip, because remember, you're trying to promote your turn, you're not trying to negate your turn. So when you do this, we're trying to have this hip go this way, like I'm pushing back this way, forward and back at a 45-degree angle. Not only does that keep my hips square, it gets this femur a little bit more locked over my left leg, which posts up my left leg, and gets the pressure points to the inside of this foot, flat of this foot. Okay, creates that brace, creates that post. And the only other part would be if I keep my hips square and I lock this in, because here's the tendency for people. They either slide like this or they open it up. It's like negating the turn, right? So it's like this one right here actually opens up my ability to turn.
Okay.
And the last part of that would be just keeping your sternum still.
Okay.
My dad talks about this all the time. I'll do this in clinics, and my dad will always chime in and say, listen, everybody, this is not sliding with it. This is staying still, and this is going forward. And for a driver, we even like, from a neutral position here, we like the belt buckle being 1 inch left for a righty, and the sternum being 1 inch right, if anything.
Yeah.
Irons, just leave that thing dead still and get that hip forward. That allows you to still cover it and hit down on top of the ball. And you can tell how far away you are from the outside here. You have to make that room up. Everybody wants to get back to where this leg is going to be on top of their, foot, and that's the post that they can rotate around. So most golfers, most athletic people will, if they're over here, they're trying to get here. And the reason we don't talk about this big hip shift, our players do it naturally, the right amount, from having the right setup and having the right turn to the top. I think a huge mistake in our industry is teaching this huge hip shift over, okay? Yeah. And the big mistake there is most people who do it are far too far back here to begin with. So it's not the instructor thinks, oh, well, they got to be there. They should have already been close to that spot so that when they actually make that shift, it's natural and it's not nearly as much as people think that it need, not forced as much as people think it needs to happen. So, checkpoints. Just holding that club right here and making sure that right hip, that right knee are just on the inside of that foot. You see that?
Yeah.
Now, if I do that correctly, I can put my club across my chest and turn, and look how I get right over that inside of my foot, and I never even had to move an inch this way, okay?
Okay.
So
that's just you coiling.
That's me coiling around the fixed points that I created, okay? And what's nice about that, it's a nice tight feeling in your core that activates your core. It lights up the inside of your leg, your glute, and the inside of your foot to where you feel like you can really push off and explode. So it creates necessary tension. What it does also, when it's done correctly, is it takes away the unnecessary tension. Okay. And that would be here.
Got it.
Okay, so when you watch this, when you get people who go like this, Steve, when they're going this way and then this way, that's the crunching of the back. When I'm going this way and that way, it frees me up. Yeah. From the face-on view, hey, did I bump my hips enough? Oh, good, they're on this outside of my hips on the inside of my foot. Well, hey, did I do it right? Oh, did I leave this still and do it? And are they still square to my feet? Simple.
Okay.
Now, from this angle, why not just keep a straight line between the hip and the ankle right there, tilt over, and when you flex, keep those connected. I like to actually push it up against my hip joint, and it's right in line with my ankle, so I know when I flex if I keep it. Now watch, most people when they do this, they either flex and sit back or they're already back in their heels. That right there causes people to play golf around them versus underneath. You leave this still, and then you give me the bump. Okay, there we go, perfect. Now actually drop the club and hold it right here and see if you've actually bumped your hips enough to where...
Here, this inside?
On the inside, yeah. See how you want to go a little bit more there? There you go, a little wider stance.
Okay.
Right there. There you go. Now it's locked in. And see your spine angle without you feeling like you're tilting back, it's already there.
Okay.
Now put the club across your chest and watch. Just go right around your spine. Beautiful. Now watch what I'm going to do. Go in there again. I'm going to have you do that, keeping this still. Just turn right around. You feel that?
Yeah.
That's the move right there. Now look at this. Everything lines up. Okay. Big mistake people make. Kev, come from this side. Do this again. The mistake people make is they've been told to go down towards the ball. And then what happens is Kev, come to this side. Look what that does to the spine. Crunches the heck out of it right here. Yeah. It promotes the reverse pivot. I want you going around your spine. See that? That's the money move right there. Love that, buddy.
Okay.
Freeze it right there. Okay, ready? Come on over here, Kev. See, when I watch you, it looks tight here, and it looks lit up right through there.
It is.
And then there's,
It is.
you know, it's funny when everybody does that and they get to the top and like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's what you want to feel.
Okay.
Because you know what that would do if you just were going the other direction?
Power.
It's coiled.
Yeah.
And then it just unwinds.
Okay.
Okay. So that's that. Now go down the line. Let's go more over this way. Okay. Now hang the club right from your shoulders, like right there. Now there you go. So watch when it hangs there. That's out now past the toes.
Okay.
Right? So now do make sure you got your hip bump and all. Boom. Awesome. Flex those knees a little bit downward. There we go. And see, that's your train track now for your hands. This shoulder is going to just feel like the hands go right down that line. Now, here's the key. That's the key.
Okay.
You feel that?
Yeah.
If this were here, watch, nice turn to the top. You feel that?
Yeah.
That's it right there. Oh, dude, are you kidding? You're going to make that be your first swing?
Wow.
You're going to have some high expectations now. At Forzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.